Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and it looks like eGrag Crypto thinks that the cycle that we are in it mirrors cycle A, which was 2017, where we had the all-time high. But he said this time, I firmly believe this is cycle A, mirrors cycle A, but amplified by a factor of 10. Cycle A multiplied by 10 would equate to 7 cents in cycle A, becoming 70 cents in this cycle. So my target is $27, which is 10 times of A. How about them apples? Now, this is an interesting thread. I saw this last night. The biggest euphoric parabolic rally will soon take place for this crypto coin. The coin I'll be talking about is programmed to flip ETH at its peak. Note, this is coming from a guy that for the past year has been telling you to invest by anything AI, and in the last several months telling you that an epic meme rally is on its way. The coin is neither AI or meme. It's the people's coin against corruption, Justice XRP. This is the great wealth transfer, and you must be fully ready and alert. First, you must fully understand what's taking place in the crypto world. In this current cycle, ETH whales have developed similar characteristics as Bitcoin whales. Nobody is selling and funding other projects. Instead, they're collecting massive rewards by staking. The only sector that they do fund is meme sector. Reason or scams, folks. Reason behind ETH, soul whales want to onboard retail to blockchain. I've explained this many times before. Billions has been invested in the meme sector, and billions will soon exit memes and into other projects with real utility. Based out of the most recent data, current wealth gap is at a historic levels. 1% now owns more assets than the 99% combined. Meaning if a wealth transfer doesn't soon take place, no military will be able to stop what's coming, riots, destruction. As bullish as I am on Bitcoin, Ethereum, a wealth transfer will not take place on those assets. In the investing world, the rules are simple. The company's coin that you invest in either will go bankrupt, zero, or produce some sort of investor return throughout the year's price appreciation dividend. A few years ago, the battle for number 2 ranking in coin market cap was between ETH and XRP. Keep in mind, XRP has been in the making for over 20 years, and Ripple as a company has been thriving for many years due to corruption, manipulation, bribery, lawsuits. XRP coin has lost its popularity and ranking among the top coins. With it, millions of hardworking investors have lost money and are still holding or hodling. Needless to say, justice will have to soon take place as we're now in the wealth transfer phase of the cycle. Now you're probably wondering why XRP and not the rest. To understand this, you have to fully understand how a meme coin works. In short, the bigger the community, mass spread of info, mass media coverage, FOMO, XRP has 4+ million investors' wallets. This is more wallets than almost all meme coins combined. The XRP holders have several things in common: hardworking, against corruption, no unicorns, magical fairy dust, law-abiding citizens. I'm also assuming that their circle of friends or community will be in the same camp. Why is this important? It's extremely hard to convince people with all the traits listed above to invest in meme, coin, or some AI app. However, when the topic changes to investing against corruption, manipulation, banks going bust, financial crash, new system, wealth transfer, the hardworking people will step up with their wallets, and all that's needed is a spike in price for XRP. Price spike will activate the 4 million XRP wallets community, mass spread of info and mass media coverage, FOMO, and the rest will be history. Now the massive bullish technical setup dating back to 2016 XRP price has been forming a massive descending triangle. Today the triangle pattern formation is coming to an end. meaning either the price will break down from the base or up. Keep in mind, from corruption to lawsuits, nothing till today has been able to break down the base. On top of that, every shitcoin is flying. Also, keep in mind that during a start of a bull run, the coins that perform later end up doing much greater returns rather than the first start to pump. Reason being, there is more loose capital and confidence flying around. On top of that, the XRP Bitcoin chart is down to its support level, where every single time a massive reversal has taken place. Now, Bitcoin whales are hodling. ETH whales are hodling, not funding other ERC projects. There's only so much Sol whales can do. Exchanges have to keep momentum going. 4 million XRP holders are on standby waiting to get activated. The digital asset investor has been activated. In fact, I just bought more XRP this morning. I will continue to buy all the way up to $1. I made that decision, and that's the fact, Jack. All right, here is a guy talking about how the financial advisors are now allocating to their Bitcoin ETFs.
Grant, I want to talk a little bit about the timeline here. Of course, you onboarded these ETFs about a month or so after they launched, a little more than a month after. Is that unusually quick when it comes to brand new ETFs?
It is. In this case, we wanted to act quickly. We have a due diligence committee that meets every week. We meet as an investment team 3 times a week. And so we felt we were in a place to be nimble and allow our advisors to get access to these products as soon as we could, but also do the proper thorough due diligence on the underlying. And so we were able to get them out about a month after launch, which gave us a good amount of time to kind of get a read of where product and asset flows are going to go. And we've seen interest. To Eric's question, we have seen a handful of advisors allocate on average 3.5% to client households. Of course, that's an average with a range, and generally in more aggressive accounts. And we over-communicated that aspect of things as well, trying to communicate with clients about what these products actually are, and also how to use them in portfolios appropriately.
So for those investors interested in the Bitcoin ETFs that you offer, are they deploying new funds, or are they cashing out of other assets on your platform to raise funds to buy the Bitcoin ETFs?
Great question. To the extent we can tell, it's usually coming out of an already allocated portion of their stock side of the house. So usually growth allocation or more aggressive all equity exposure is what we're seeing move into the Bitcoin specific allocation, again, at a small weight, sub 5%, which is right on where we've been kind of preaching to advisors. So we aren't necessarily seeing new money that wasn't in the market go into Bitcoin, but we are seeing that kind of aggressive portion of the allocation rotate over to keep risk lined up.
Okay, so there's that. Now here's John Deaton put this video out yesterday in this political battle. This is crypto versus Elizabeth Warren and the anti-crypto crowd.
Hey everybody, John Deaton here. People have asked me, why did I sue the US government over people's right to own crypto? And the answer really is my mom. You see, when I was growing up as a kid on welfare and food stamps, my mom couldn't keep a bank account because the bank would impose fees every time she couldn't keep the minimum balance, and we needed all the money for food. And so I would watch my mom beg the check cashing stores that you see in the hood. She would beg them not to charge the full 10 or 15% so we could have as much money as possible for food. And when I went to college and I would send my mom money to help my 2 younger sisters, I had to go through Western Union or MoneyGram, and they also would charge 10, 15%. So when I read the Bitcoin white paper, I immediately thought of my mom. And I thought, wow, you can get rid of the banks and the predatory fees that these stores and companies charge regular hardworking people or poor people. And so I got involved and I sued the government pro bono, and I won on behalf of working class people, and I'm very proud of that. Now, Elizabeth Warren and the banks, they want to get rid of crypto and ban it because they want to keep those fees hurting people. I disagree with that. And if you agree with me, then please go to johndeatonforsenate.com and donate today.
All right. And then here's some more drama. Listen to what this woman said about John Deaton. Let's make sure we name names here too. This woman is Karen Spilka, and it looks like she's running for Congress, I guess. And she's there with Elizabeth Warren, so let's make sure they get proper credit here.
I'm sure all of you have heard that Elizabeth Warren has an opponent this year. He literally moved to Massachusetts from Rhode Island maybe, 3 weeks ago? He did. It's true. It's funny, but it's true. He's a crypto bro. He wrote a book which is about 300 pages of him talking about how tough he is, how strong he is. And his candidacy is probably the biggest joke here today.
You wouldn't be talking about it if it was a joke, lady.
I think he has about as much of a path to victory as an IVF embryo in Alabama.
So John pointed out to them how he buried his feelings of shame about being raped as a kid, like a lot, and so I tweeted her little clip out. Said, hey John, as despicable and shameful as this is, it's not new for Senator Warren or her friends to have no sympathy for rape victims. They still haven't even acknowledged these Epstein rape victims, and that's the fact, Jack. They have not. Elizabeth Warren has never even mentioned one of these women. Never. And then we've got the debt box ruling. Look at this. A Utah judge has found that the SEC engaged in bad faith conduct and against crypto. The judge placed sanctions on the SEC for abuse of judicial process. Looks like the sanctions imposed against the SEC here are monetary. They will now be forced to pay legal fees and court costs of both debt box and the receiver. The third party court appointment, it's unclear how much those bills will add up to. What they need to do is pay back Ripple for their lawsuit. How many times, like for instance, when they said that Bill Hinman, it was just his personal opinion, they lied in court over and over and over, folks. For over a year, I remember, they lied in court. Where are their sanctions for that? Stuart Alderati jumps in. Today, a federal court sanctioned the SEC for abusing its unique status to present evidence that was false, mischaracterized, and or misleading. If anyone thinks this conduct by this agency under this leadership is limited to this case, I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Then Tristan Levitt comments on it too. This opinion from the federal judge, Robert Shelby, is pretty devastating for the SEC. Each piece of support the commission offered in seeking the TRO and then later reiterated in the defending the TRO proved to be some combination of false, mischaracterized, or misleading. Folks, this continues on until Gary Gensler himself is held accountable. Not the agency. Gary doesn't have to pay the fines. It's until Gary personally, this is the man that's running this thing. Gary personally, he is the one who keeps doing things that he knows are illegal. They're illegal. In court lying. He's got his agency. He's the representative in court lying in front of federal judges over and over and over. And then making the people they're suing spend money to disprove the lie. And then getting caught 1 or 2 years down the road, and the agency pays sanctions. It's one man that's leading this charge. One man that's making them go out and do this. He's the chairman. It's not just a title. He has responsibility. Until he personally is held responsible, this is all just going to be a bunch of nothing. Now, here we go. Empower has filed a new lawsuit against the SEC because its refusal to comply with the Freedom of Information Act request. If you remember, this is ETHgate. This is what Charles Gasparino keeps saying is just a conspiracy. But he won't acknowledge this at all. Because to acknowledge this is to acknowledge, well, it's not so much a conspiracy if the SEC won't even turn over the communications between all these people, is it? In fact, why is Charles Gasparino and Eleanor Terrett, why are they not pointing at this and making a story out of it, because it is a story. It's not a conspiracy. We've had the facts have not been in dispute for over 3 years now. And they know that, by the way. Now, I want to play one video. I'm going to play you more later. Let me make sure I got the right where I am. In fact, I called Patrick McHenry is highlighting Gary Gensler's deceptive legal practices, and I said, okay, well, that's all fine talk there, Patrick McHenry, but when are you going to subpoena Gary? You said don't make me subpoena you, and you never did anything. And we don't forget, we remember. Now you're quitting, which if you're quitting without doing what you said you were going to do, that's pretty shameful. But when subpoena? That's what I want to know. Now, I got several clips. I'm going to play them in the next video of the Digital Asset Summit, but I'm going to play this one. I want to play this one, but I've got better ones in the next clip. But I do want to play this one because it's going to lead me into the group. This is Ripple's Marcus Infanger.
So for starters, Ripple has been pretty transparent. We continue to be, and obviously as a leader in the space, I recommend following us to keep abreast of what's happening with crypto and payments. Separately, I think we're at the start of a really like the next massive sort of paradigm shift in terms of TradFi interacting with blockchain. I think the crypto sort of like speculative or as an asset investment class use case, that's reached critical mass. And now we're really getting to a point where we're talking more about real world utility, powering financial market infrastructure using blockchain technology. And so as we drive this convergence further, I think you will be just seeing also more, what's real, what's happening in the real economy using blockchain technology and so forth.
So he's basically saying your next massive paradigm shift is in TradFi, interacting blockchain. Now, this reminded me of something. In the group, DAIXRP.com, I'm going to talk about where have we seen this reference to this shift and what stage that we are in, okay? And then we're going to dig a little deeper on that. I'm going to show you some evidence from some blast from the past evidence combined with some other things I just found. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that away we go to